Welcome back, all you Fabricants and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show reviews. And today we're reviewing Season 2, Episode 6 of Raised by Wolves, and it's entitled The Tree. So, was it good? Was it bad? And should you be watching? On the last episode of Raised by Wolves, we saw Vril go ham, and we saw Marcus get captured. Saul seems to be sheltering him somehow from getting murdered, just like he's sheltering Holly. So what's the aftermath of that? Mother seems to be thinking that he needs some punishment. He thinks Saul's got his back. Who's going to ultimately be found correct there? And of course, we have Marcus's adversary, who gets to go free even though he hates the atheist, but not as much as Marcus. Fun stuff there. Meanwhile, Tempest's baby seems ready to kick its way straight out of her womb. And Sue has found religion, along with Paul, much to Paul's delight. And Paul is sort of trying to get Campion to help him out to get Marcus free so they can go find this tree that supposedly the prophet's going to plant or whatever. And we also have Campion making a stab at being a leader at Mother's command. And Father and Mother try to figure out what's going on with, quote, grandmother, that old ass but somehow new looking android. All these things are going on, plus there's a weird ass signal that seems to indicate that there's an actual, some kind of godlike intelligence or whatever on Kepler 22b. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of plot threads, and it's all quite interesting. But the sum total of it, not quite living up to the fun of episode number 5. This is really one of those, I guess, story building episodes wherein some plot threads are moved forward, some ideas are introduced, there's further mysteries upon mystery upon mystery, which that part I actually really liked. Some of the stuff is quite predictable in this episode. For instance, all of the jealousy that Mother and Father display towards each other, not really towards each other, but towards the, I guess, object of attention from the other. Like Father's jealousy towards number 7, the serpent, and Mother's discovering and being, let us say, confrontational and jealous towards grandmother. And grandmother actually presents what I consider to be one of the intriguing mysteries of the show, because she's apparently the exact same model almost, except for some modifications that Mother is. How does that happen? Because she's supposedly millions of years old. But that also just sort of plays into the fact that the Mithraicism is somehow an ancient, not just an ancient religion on Earth. So we can assume that this is an alternate Earth where from our own that doesn't have the same past. But Mithraicism is apparently a cult or a religion that became to dominate on Earth. But that it also apparently came from this Saul, the signal that's been detected on Kepler 22b. And that this same Saul somehow was seeding an existent and ancient and died out civilization on Kepler 22b from 620 light years away. It's a huge mystery box, and I kind of love it, actually. I really enjoy this aspect of trying to figure out what exactly this god alien is and what he wants, or he or she or it or whatever wants, and how it played a role in human civilization and development, such that the ancient Mithraic is a language on Earth, and it's spoken by grandmother who has never seen Earth in its life. All very interesting stuff. A bit less interesting, but I guess you'd say quite predictable, is that whenever Campion and Paul are in the same room with each other, the stupidity magnifies itself. If you haven't noticed before, I think Paul is an awful character, and I keep hoping he'll fall down a hole or something. Every time someone's doing something dumb in this show, you can bet Paul has something to do with it. In this case, trying to get Campion, who says he believes in Saul or whatever, to help get Marcus to escape, and which he fails to do because he's not a good leader. Mother, for some reason, thinks he's going to lead people, and what is she? You know, she's definitely got mom glasses on with this. But Paul and Sue and Marcus escape in a tank, and they're going to go find this tree. And they have this little mystery box that everyone's seen before, and there's a very predictable end where the tree is and how you open the box. It's, you know, it's sing us a hymn apparently, and the seed and what it is, and you know how it ultimately and very predictably has to do with a sacrifice of Sue, which I hate because I kind of like her character, and I hate to see her, you know, sort of disappear out of the picture. But maybe she will be back. And what is grandmother? What's she have to do with everything? What does she have to do with Tempest and her baby coming, and the crazy Mer-man and that weird little situation where she gives birth, thinking she's going to toss the baby into the acid ocean, but doesn't do so and loves him immediately, only for a weird old Mer-man to come take him away from her. It's quite, all that's quite crazy, especially because if you saw earlier, grandmother had a picture of a Mer-man that she put in her hologram. What does she have to do with that? I think we're going to find out later. But overall, the good outweigh the bad here. I think on balance, I like this episode. The amount of Paul was more than I wanted, and the way Sue was heading was kind of weird. Marcus channeling his inner Torgo from Manos, the Hand of Fate, it's always fun stuff. And the little snippiness between mother and father, that's good stuff. I really want to know more about grandmother. That's really my thing. So either way, really like this episode, and I think you guys probably will too. So anyway, let me know what you think. Get down to the comments section, and you can also hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or supernotfunny at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks once again for joining me on this review. Come back next week. We're going to see where all the action on Kepler 22b is headed. Until then, I've been Mo De Poupée, your resident fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.